Alright, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakakodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of great Melsoon and rule well. Salutation to the Aki and preaching the truth to the four corners of the earth in sincerity. This is Brother Yakari from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Camp, coming to you with another lesson. Lord's willing it be edifying. As the title reads, all our training is going to be paid off, right? And this was really a lesson inspired through the Spirit by the Elder Malcolm, right? And through the Spirit, it strike the video for me to do. Because the Elder made mention of a point that when it's time to fight as a boxer or a wrestler and that bell rings and the other guy in the ring looking at you like use lunch, like he ready for you, he ready to devour you. It's the same thing when you apply it to the truth. When that bell rings, when that time hit for Jacob's trouble, as long as you are Jacob, you're going to have to fight. You understand? Because there's certain times where a match has cage fight, where they lock the cage so you're locked in. Think about it. As long as you are Jacob, whether it be in the world or in the truth, Jacob's trouble is going to come. But what the Lord said, but Jacob shall be, he shall be delivered out of it. Just roughly paraphrasing. He shall be delivered out of it. What really and truly is the elect. You understand? So, without further ado, I'm going to get into the lesson. Because when I really analyze it, there's no way out of it. The only way out of it is Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. The other guy done already in the ring coming for you to tear you in. Now you have to show your skill. Now you have to show all your training. You understand? Your training, what you're always training all these years, going to have to be applied. Right? And you really understand it. So, before I go into the actual scripture, I have another precept here in the book of Galatians. Right? Galatians, the 6th chapter, and verse 7. And it reads, Be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Right? So, in this world that we live in here, being in this truth, whatsoever you sow, you reap. When men live by the sword and live by the gun, they reap death. Enemies always on you, are always coming for them. The law enforcement, that is the spirits they attract. So, a man of the Lord, you should be reaping, you should be sowing spiritual things, applying spiritual things to your body that, always counting the course of the things you're going to have to endure, testing yourself just constantly. Because when you already talk about the fighter, the boxer, right, you being caged in Jacob's trouble, that next boxer is Esau and these other spirits, these demons, the other nations, everybody against us, that is the other boxer, and the jabs them coming in full speed, because it's going to be the trying on your feet. So obviously the jabs are going to be terrible. As the scripture says, it's not going to be joyous at the time. Right? So continuing here, it says, Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Verse 8, For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. Correct. You're going to reap corruption if you're sowing to the flesh. You wasn't focused on all these news taking place. Esau making all these steps. Come on. You're supposed to be training for the big fight, the big day. As a fighter, you're supposed to be training for the next, for all the strategies, all the left hook. You're supposed to be working on your left hook. Right? The scriptures say we battle not against flesh and blood, but against principality. You're supposed to be focusing on your jab. Think about it. You get a jab from the enemy, and then now you can't throw back a jab. You had to constantly take jabs. That is not how it works. A professional fighter. And what the scriptures say, strive for mastery, right? Why would the Lord tell us strive for mastery? Because a professional fighter is supposed to be able to take jabs. He been getting jabs all his life, as Jacob. Now, when it comes to the actual Jacob's trouble, we have a power to lean on. Yes, but the Lord also requires you to take jabs and not fall, which is when you go into the word endurance, right? So all the training, as I see, as the script, as the video says, the title reads, it's gonna pay off. All the jabs you've been taking in the shoot is gonna pay off, right? Verse 8, for he that soweth to his flesh shall also of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth of the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap everlasting life. Life everlasting. That is it. Because out of all this, when we finally make it to the end, is everlasting life. And that is what we're supposed to be reaping in the first place. You understand? Constantly learning how to take jabs, constantly adding on to ourselves. You know? Worshipping the Lord and asking Him for strength. We asking for strength in that time, before that time come. You understand? But with that knowledge, knowing that we asking for strength before the time come, we also have to work out. You can't say that you want to get stronger, even in this physical flesh. You can't say that you want to get stronger and you want to get abs and you ain't working out. You're all eating is fatty foods, but you want to get stronger. It don't work like that, right? So we put it into the spirit. You can't just say you're not training, you're not working out, you're not getting stronger, and then now when the strong battles come, you want to fight it off. It don't work like that. The Lord say put on the armor, which is the book of Ephesians 6. If you put on that armor, that is a spiritual six packs. You understand? That is a spiritual muscles. You understand? We're continuing, verse 9. And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. That is it, as I was saying. And endure. You understand? Continuing, verse 10. As we have therefore opportunity, let us do good unto all men, really and truly the elect, especially unto them who are of the household of faith. Can. I want to go back to verse 9, where it says, in due season we shall reap if we faint not. Because really and truly, it goes into the kingdom of heaven. The overall reaping. But you see the training paying off is where the reaping comes in as well. Because where all this training you going through and all this hardship and not folding is yappa. Because there's a build up. The reaping comes in Jacob's trouble when you need it the most. The experience. Because liken it onto a job, right? The Lord require 7,000 men not to fall, not to bow to a specific image, right? He required them to do a specific job in a specific time. But the men now have the qualifications, which is to not fall. The qualification should be that they know how to endure hardship, they know how to work under pressure. You understand? To still pray when shit hit the fan. To know where you're for. To know who's your Lord. To have integrity. You understand? In that time. That is what these men qualifications must look like. Right? So, as I was saying, training gonna have to be used. Right? So now I can jump to the book of James. This is the book of James 1, and I'll read verse 26. Right? And it reads, if any man among you seem to be religious, and bridleth not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man religion is in vain. And we understand that this is not talking about religion, as in the Greek word religio, right? I could get that in the Blue Letter Bible. Just bear with me here. The book of James 1 and 26. Right? It says, I'll read it in the boot, right? I'll read it over. If any man among you seem to be religious, and bridleth not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is in vain. Now I want to go into the interlinear to get the word religion. Right? It says religious worship, external, that which consists of ceremonies. So we know they're talking about basically the things that we do. You know, we keep the Passover, we do this, we worship Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, us being in the truth. So, if any man, right, so if any man does all these things, pursuant to James 1 and 25, if any man does all these things, and bridleth not his tongue, and when the time comes, he doesn't act, or he doesn't keep up his end of the bargain, the things that he said he was going to do, right, and he fall after doing all this, he comes and fall, his religion is vain, his belief is vain, all his worship, going back to the meaning and the interlinear, his worship, all that he did, he worship, all the things that he was doing is in vain. It can no longer be counted because you actually fall, you give up when you was supposed to endure, right? So I'm gonna go back to the precept here. James 1 and 26, verse 27. Pure religion and undefiled before Yahweh and the Father is this, to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world. So when you actually detach yourself and keep yourself unspotted from the world, it helps with your fight, because with keeping yourself joined to the world and closer to worldly things, the fight becomes a lot harder, where you're struggling to keep up. And I speaking from experience, I was lacking in a lot of things, and I had to strengthen myself, and that is when the vision has become a little more clear. You get to see a little more what of the things that you're supposed to be doing as a man, right? You get to see it more. So as I was saying before, going back to the when it says your religion is in vain, you don't want to waste what you have. You don't want to waste what the Lord give you. The Lord give you a power, as the scripture say, we have this power in earthen vessels. I believe it's in the book of Corinthians. We have this power in earthen vessels, and we can't waste it. You understand? We can't waste the Lord power, because he will remove it. He will spit it out of his mouth. As pursuing to, not straying from the topic, but it has a lot to do with the video with the title, all this training going to pay off, right? The Lord refining the men of the Lord as gold is refined, making it shinier, making it stronger. So if you're wasting the talent and you're hiding it under a bushel, think about when the Lord say he will spew you out of his mouth, right? Think about it. For a man to be drinking tea, there's a specific way you like tea. We don't like tea cold, you spit out that. You don't like tea lukewarm, you like tea hot. You understand? But the Lord said you prefer if you're hot or cold. But if you're lukewarm, you can spit it out. So really and truly, you don't like tea. And then now there's juice. You like a nice cold glass of juice. You wouldn't like juice to be hot. You understand? You'll spew out that as well too. So the Lord requires him, and the Lord are going back to the qualifications again to be a specific kind of way. And that's how we had to be. Right? So going back into the precept, I wanna jump to Thessalonians. Because really and truly, ain't no reason fighting this thing or not understanding what you're in, right? Because as I was saying before, as long as you are Jacob, you're going to have to go through Jacob's trouble. As long as you are an Israelite, you're going to have to go through it. And the fact that knowing this, when you have the knowledge, because men who don't have the knowledge, they wouldn't understand this. But for men who have the knowledge, it don't make sense giving up. Strengthen yourself. It will pay off in due time. Because if you give up, you have it more hard. Okay, what the name to call on? Don't say you laugh when your calamity come. You understand? So, better thing to do is strengthen yourself. Keep doing what you're doing and just do it better. Own your skill. Right? So I'll get the precept now. First Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 3. Straight to the point. Right? That no man should be moved by these afflictions. Don't be moved. You're learning to take jabs. If it was the first time getting a job like that, it will hurt. But if a man keep doing it, after a few years or a few months, just seeing, after a time, that's gonna be like a normal job. Right? Continuing. That no man should be moved by these afflictions, for yourselves know that we are appointed thereunto. Right? Going into the word appointed. We are appointed. That means that it's a appointed affliction. It was done set. It was predestined for us to go through Jacob's trouble. You understand? So now that we know, that we can't be fucking around. We can't be fucking around and playing with the time. You can't be fucking around with the grace period. Right? You might think that Jacob's trouble far, but as I speaking now, a bill could be passing and then they kicking your door and my door right now. They pass a bill immediately talking about, hey, these men, we need to get them. Because the Lord already said they're coming for us. They said they're going to take some of you carrying in synagogues, whatever the case may be. Right? Right? And then now a bill pass, and as I do in this video here, now my door get kicked in. Think about it. Right? So it's not far. We can't be playing with the time. We can't be thinking that everything just going and happen, man. Yeah, I need the truth, and no. Strengthen yourself. So now when it happen now, it wouldn't be as hard as it would have been when it was weaker. Right? So understand that they're coming for us anyhow, but we don't know. So best thing to do is to shake up ourselves and do it now. Get it done now. Right? Because even in the book of 2 Ezra 16, I'm gonna get it one time. It speaks about them coming for us. 2 Ezra 16 and verse 70. Right? Verse 70. And it says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon thee that fear the Lord, which is us. And it didn't say there's going to be in some places. They said in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Verse 71. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. That is what they're going to be doing. You understand? That means that they're going to be uncontrollable when they're coming for you. Right? And I'm going to just get a meaning, because I had the online etymology. to get the meaning of the word mad. Just for a random search, right? Mad. Right? It says mad because there's two meanings of mad, right? Mad as in, crazy and whatever the case may be, but mad, it says disordered in intellect, right? Demented, crazy, insane, out of one's mind. They're gonna have this is how they coming for us. Yeah, madmen. And we're gonna need the Lord on our side. Who is me? Who shall deliver me? The Yahweh Shai shall deliver me. It's for me now to know that and know that it doesn't just come like that, but I need to strengthen myself. I need to count cost. Right? So understanding the madmen part, that's how they're gonna be. So if you don't apply this, you're gonna run from it. You're gonna try and hide. And you know what? You can't hide and you can't run from it. You never really count the cost, you know? You never really understand what you was in. And you was playing with your training time. As the title reads, all our training is going to pay off. You was playing with your training time, you was slacking off. Right? You was playing with it. Now when we understand the word mad again, this is how they're gonna be. And plus, not only that they're gonna be like this, insane, foolish, crazy when they're coming for us, violent. Not only this, but also that they hate us. So it's gonna be easy for them to do anything unto you, anything they imagine. These troops, even these jakes who are part of the army and the service, it's gonna be easy for them to come and do anything. You understand? Anything imaginable. So now understanding that, we have to understand what we're in. Right? So with that, God's will in this video edifying through the spirit and power Yahweh Shem Shai. I want to say Kalalayam, La Alahayanawa, Yahweh Ba Shem Shai, Ba Shem Kakodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of great milestone and rule well. Salutation to the Aki and preaching the truth, to the four corners of the youth in sincerity. Shalom.